Call to order for the Town of St. John Redevelopment Commission meeting. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Donna, can we have roll call, please?
Sure. Gerald Sweats is absent. Christian Jorgensen,
Is he on?
not here yet. Mike Bovat,
Present.
Wayne Pondinas,
Present.
Ann Oster, present. Bill Manasopoulos,
Present.
Joe Svetnoff,
Here.
and Beth Hernandez by way of Donna Little.
Mr. President, Councilman Jorgensen just walked in, so he'll be in a minute. We can continue.
All right, thank you. Item 4, approval of minutes, 4/24/2024, meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
This meeting is being recorded.
Do I have a second?
I second.
My fault, everybody. Sorry about that. The
Uh,
door was locked, didn't open, and there was a roller coaster, so excuse me.
He is here, and we are grateful.
Yeah.
So we are on item 4. We have approval of minutes right here.
Thank you.
We have a motion. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 5, old business. Billy, any old business?
No old business.
Item 6, new business. 1, ratify publication of notice of public meeting for the 2024 Economic Development Revenue Bonds.
This is a public meeting that is set for June 26, 2024.
Okay.
Yep. So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 7, reports and correspondences.
No reports at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any public comment for the Redevelopment Commission meeting? Any public comment? No public comment, thank you. Item 9, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Development Commission is adjourned. Call to order for the Town of St. John Town Council meeting, May 22nd, 2024. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could remain standing for just a moment of silence. Recently, our fire chief, Mr. Shane Adams, had the passing of his father. Let's have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Donna, could we have roll call, please?
Gerald Sweats is absent. Christian Jorgensen,
Present.
Mike Bovat,
Present.
Wayne Pondinas,
Present.
Ann Oster,
Present.
Bill Manasopoulos,
Here.
Joe Svetnoff,
Here.
and Beth Hernandez by way of Donna Little.
Thank you, Donna. Item 4 is public comment. And we have people that did sign up for public comment. Please keep in mind that the decorum, it's 3 minutes. We have a lot of people here, and we have several that are asking to speak. So there is a 3-minute time limit. First one on the list is Matt Rohr. Mr. Rohr. And when you come up, could you please state your name and address, please?
Yes. My name is Matt Rohr. My address is 11069 Hickory Grove Road in the Mill Creek subdivision. And I'm president of the Mill Creek Master and Mill Creek Signature Series HOAs. I'm here speaking about the Gates lots 29, 30, 31 proposal that's before you to change the zoning. We are here in opposition to said zoning. And everybody from Mill Creek who's in opposition, raise your hands, give a sense, so that's the crew. There's a couple reasons for this. The biggest one is the proposal for 210 residential units in a dense configuration packed into that space. Parish on one intersection of 231, over to Klein to the other, two of the most dangerous intersections and worst piece of roads in the county and certainly the city. We already have a Schilling development that'll be comparable to our size, which is we're about 244 units. They'll be about the same. And to put 210 more units in there and have the Gates finished building out, that's almost 1,000 new cars, not going by us on 231, coming and going every day in that confined space. It's a mess. And until that road becomes 4 lanes, I don't see how it can handle it. It's a real problem. And particularly for Mill Creek, we're bound. The Gates can get out to the north, the east, the west, the south. We can only get out to our north, which is Parish and Park Place, and to our west, out onto Parish. That's it, we're stuck. Kleine Farms behind us, and the Schilling development's gonna be built for years before we can go that way. So this is a real issue, it's a safety issue for police, fire, ambulances. So we think that level of residential space and that dense configuration is really way too much. The proposal is that, best a vision of the downtown for St. John. At worst, it's a hallucination. I don't think this is an economically viable proposal. There's no committed commercial people who could come there now under the C2. And this is a big bet to really change the nature of our community. No one moved here because they wanted a downtown. There's one in Crown Point. If you wanted that kind of lifestyle, you could have gone there. So this is a pretty serious thing to be made on such thin proposals as everybody's for it, it's unique. Triangle tires on cars are unique, and they're a bad idea.
Mr. Rohr, 30 seconds.
Okay, gotcha. So something of this nature requires a much more well-thought-out plan, more discipline from the town to the developer to show real substance of how this is going to work before you make this big a move. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Rohr. Karen Smith. Karen Smith.
She is running late right now. She will be present soon.
Douglas Blocker. And again, Mr. Blocker, please give your name and address, please.
Doug Blocker, 10591 Juniper Lane, St. John. I'd like to make some comments regarding your items number B3 and B4 regarding the LBL developments on White Oak Avenue and 109th, and also on the commercial rezoning. On the White Oak Avenue and 109th, first I'd like to say that I'm disappointed that the Plan Commission was not able to give a recommendation on both of these projects. Clearly, they should not be approved, and for them not to see that, I can't believe it, that they even voted yes would have been better than no recommendation. I mean, that's what they're there for. On the 40 acres at 109th and White Oak Avenue, the petitioner submitted a sketch plan meeting, at the sketch plan meeting, or concept meeting, submitted a plan of 79 single-family lots, ranging of the area of 50 feet to 60 feet in wide. Didn't get into the plan at all, hardly any questions were asked, and basically just said that this plan was disapproved 4 years ago, I'm here to get it approved, and that was it. He went to the public meeting, the following meeting, and at that point he said, we're not going to do this plan. We're just here to get rezoning from R1 to RC2. Basically, and with the caveat of he wants 116 units maximum. Well, if you got 79 units that he had before, which were single-family lots of 50 to 60 foot wide, and now he wants 116, that means he's looking at townhouses instead of single-family. Or you're looking at 40-foot wide lots, I don't know. Also, you look at, he says, under the R2C or RC2, you're allowed the same density as you are for the R2 district. So he goes through the calculations. Your R2 district has 100-foot wide lots by 150. That's 15,000 square feet. If you take the 1 acre, 43,560, divide that by the 15,000, you get 2.9 units per acre. Multiply that by 40 acres, I get 116 units. That's what he should be entitled to.
And Mr. Blocker, you got 30 seconds.
Okay. Anyhow, what it comes out to, he forgot all the calculations for the streets and the roads. On the second proposal, totally against giving up prime commercial property for a multi-dense townhome. That's the most insane thing I ever heard of. St. John wants commercial development. And what are you going to do? Give it to a developer that just wants to do nothing but put in high-density townhouses? That's terrible. It's terrible planning. The plan that's there that he's proposing is terrible, the way it goes. So I hope you guys listen to the public and say, no good. And I also hear there's a proposal under the table, behind the back door or whatever, and I asked the town, do not accept that proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna Christoff, hope I said that correctly.
You did, thank you.
Thank you. And again, your name, please, and your address.
Yes, sir. My name is Donna Christoff. I'm at 8942 Finley Court. And thank you for taking the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I've never done this before, so thank you. I'm here to speak to the units 29, 30, and 31 development. And I know you guys are all aware of the issues with traffic and police and fire safety in the area. And I agree that that has to be of the most importance in any development that we choose, to go towards. I also think that the residents who purchased their home, like myself, along the berm in Mill Creek, most of us moved there because of retirement or wanting to leave an already congested area just to have some peace and quiet. We were told when we bought our properties that the property that we're discussing tonight would be commercial property. And so I don't think anybody ever opposed that when they bought their homes. So they purchased their homes on that premise. When the developer purchased that land, he also knew it was zoned for commercial. So to go for a change right now, I think it's a disservice to all of his homeowners. I also think with all the other building proposals in the area, why would residential be included in this plan? The residential property there would be so dense. I wouldn't even want to think about a potential fire if you're going to build 210 homes that close together. It could potentially spread over into the Mill Creek homes along that berm. I also, because I live, facing that berm, I see the ambulances in and out of the gates of St. John, the assisted living. And, I see ambulances there almost on a daily basis, sometimes, 2 and 3 times a day. So you start, populating the area with more traffic, things of that nature. So how is emergency services going to deal with what they're already dealing, plus with what they're proposing to do, and with Mill Creek? I also think that 2- and 3-story buildings would totally change the landscape of the existing community. So I just would ask that you thoughtfully consider the residents not only in Mill Creek, but in the surrounding area, including future residents, whether it's in the Schilling subdivision or anywhere else around this area, by not granting the zoning change, in this plan. Please, that would help keep us safe from all traffic issues, fire and crime issues, and kind of overpopulating the community. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Terry. Mr. Terry Nelman?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Terry A. Nelleman. My address is 9500 West 103rd Place, St. John, and a very happy resident in St. John for close to 25 years now. I did have something to speak about, but I just want to change my topic today to support the people here in regards to the new subdivision or the rezoning of that property. Mr. Orr, I believe his name was, mentioned a very dangerous intersection at, at Klein Avenue and 231. That is a very dangerous intersection, and what he's talking about is 100% correct. Now, the reason why I'm here, I changed my topic tonight, is to support these people. And the biggest problem is on May 5th, I was a victim of that, that intersection. Sunday at 10:15 in the morning, I was on my motorcycle, yes, a motorcycle, and I was rear-ended, stopped at the light trying to make a turn with my 2 feet underground. Please listen to Mr. Orr and his fellow supporters that are standing here. And you have a police report to verify that injury. The police department were there. The ambulances were there. That intersection was shut down. That is the reason why I'm changed my topic of discussion today, and I'll leave it at that. But please, again, Mr. Orr is 100% right. The council's got to do the right thing and protect, please protect the people of St. John, especially with that intersection. Thank you very much for your time.
That concludes the public comment. Moving to item 5, approval of minutes for A, April 24th, 2024, meeting minutes, and for B, May 16th, 2024, study session minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 6, proclamation recognizing National Public Works Week. I have something here that I'll read for the Public Works. Proclamation by the Town of St. John, Indiana, National Public Works Week, May 19th to the 25th, 2024. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are vital, important to sustain and resiliate communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the town of St. John, Indiana. And whereas these infrastructure facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water distribution, and solid waste systems, fleet, forestry, and public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children who reside in the town of St. John, Indiana, to gain knowledge of and maintain a progressive interest in understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now therefore, I, Michael Bovet, Town Council President, along with the Town of St. John Council members, do hereby proclaim May 19th to the 25th, 2024, as National Public Works Week, and urge all citizens to join with the representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designated to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protect our national health, safety, and quality of life. This includes Vice President Christian Jorgensen, Councilwoman Ann Olster, Councilman Wayne Pondinas, and Councilman Gerald Swets. Thank you. Item 7, Fire Department swearing in. We have the Honorable Fire Chief, Mr. Shane Adams. Mr. Adams.
Thank you. Good evening, President and Town Council. First of all, thank you for the moment of silence for my father. Really appreciate it. Tonight, I would like to introduce two of our firefighters to complete our badging ceremony. I would like to call up our new paid-on-call firefighters. These guys live in town, and they respond from their home. They also train on every Monday night for a minimum of 2 hours. A lot of times it goes more towards 3, sometimes even 4 hours, until like 9, 10 o'clock at night. They keep up them training. They don't complain if it goes over. They have completed all of their training, which consists of the Fire Academy, which lasts about 5.5 months, and is about 3 days a week. They completed a total of around 400 hours of training. They both have received all of their fire certifications that are required by the state of Indiana and their probation period with the St. John Fire Department. I would like to call up the two new members. First is Jake Hokema, who will be badged by his father, Tim Hokema. You guys both come up. Second one is going to be Jeffrey Schaefer, who will be badged by his mother, Mary Schaefer. If you two can come up, please. You gotta be in the center of the room.
Have both of you guys do this together, so if you would please raise your right hand to repeat after me. And state your name. I
Jake Hokema,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and diligently
and diligently
discharge all my duties as firefighter
discharge all my duties as firefighter
of the town of St. John,
of the town of St. John,
Lake County, Indiana,
Lake County, Indiana,
according to the law
according to the law
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Chief Adams, and to our newest firefighters. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Item 8, public hearing. A, ordinance 1830, an ordinance annexing real estate to the town of St. John, Family Express. 1, proof of publication. Town Attorney, Mr. Svetnov.
Mr. President, at this time, I've been able to review the proofs of publication. They are in order, and this hearing is ready to proceed as follows.
Thank you. 2, opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the property that is located at the southwest corner of US 41 and 231. It encompasses about 2 acres.
Thank you, Billy. Item 3, we're now going to open this to the floor for public comment for the Family Express. Any public comment for the Family Express? Public comment going once.
Can I just ask you, what is Family Express, what is that?
It's a gas station. Family Express is a
And a convenience mart, just like on Parish and 231.
Parish and 231?
Yeah.
It's similar.
I mean, very similar. It's the same company, same quality product.
I was just wondering where, thank you.
opening comment going twice. Opening comment 3 times. We're now closing public comment for Family Express. Item 5, introduction of fiscal plan. Billy?
So the fiscal plan was received by the town. It'll be looked at over this next month. As long as everything comes out okay, we'll be making a resolution at next month's meeting to accept it.
Thank you. Item 6, consider motion to approve ordinance 1830 on first reading only.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Number 9, agenda items. A, financial matters of the corporation. Consider approval of progress payment to First Group Engineering for the 93rd Avenue roadway from Kyleman Street to 1,100 feet west of US 41 project in the amount of $4,077.75, and authorize the clerk treasurer to issue payment from the ARPA fund.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Number 2, request to purchase. There are a total of 16 requests to purchase, and the combined total of $255,651.92 for approval. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Item 3, accounts payable voucher dated April 24th, 2024, representing payment for payroll, supplies, services, and equipment rendered to the town of St. John in the combined total of $1,818,291.82. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 4-0. Item 4, consider donation to the St. John Volunteer Fire Department in the amount of $15,000 and authorize the clerk treasurer to remit payment.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 4-0. B, ordinances and resolutions. Number 1, consider ordinance 1828, an ordinance establishing golf cart usage regulations, second reading.
Move to adopt ordinance 1828.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? No. Motion carries 4-0. Number 2, consider ordinance 1829, an ordinance approving a zoning change from R2 PUD to C2 for Suncrest Church. Favorable recommendation from Plan Commission.
Move to adopt ordinance number 1829.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Consider ordinance 1831, an ordinance amending the St. John ordinance for providing for a zoning change for the property development commonly known as the Gates of St. John, units 29, 30, and 31 in the town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana. No recommendation from the Plan Commission.
Motion to adopt ordinance 1831.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Mr. President, we'll need a second on that.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I guess I didn't hear one. I thought I heard one too.
The motion.
We have a
from
motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Consider ordinance 1832, an ordinance amending the St. John ordinance for providing for a zoning change for the property development commonly known as White Oak subdivision in the town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana. No recommendation from the Plan Commission.
Move to adopt ordinance 1832.
I have a
Second.
second. I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
Who got paid off? Yeah.
Item number 5.
Order!
Let's have order and decorum
Shame on all
in the
you.
town council meeting. Item 5, consider ordinance 1833, an ordinance establishing a waterworks cash reserve fund.
Motion to consider, yes, motion to consider ordinance 1833 on first reading.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries
Mr. President,
4-0. Yes?
a motion to adopt is in order.
Yes. Mr. President, a motion to adopt ordinance 1833.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
We need to, on a second reading ordinance, we need to waive. We need to waive procedure.
You want suspend the rules?
Suspend the rules, yes.
All right, motion to suspend.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Mr. President, and thank you, Mr. Attorney, motion to adopt ordinance 1833 on second.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 4-0 to adopt ordinance 1833. Item 6, consider ordinance 1834, an ordinance approving a temporary loan from the Waterworks utility to the sewage waterworks utility.
Oh, Mr. President, motion to consider and adopt ordinance number 1834 on first reading.
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion to suspend.
I have a motion to suspend. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mr. President, motion to adopt ordinance 1834 on second reading.
Do I have a second?
I
I'll
second.
second.
Oh, sorry.
I have a
Dan's got it.
motion, I have a second to adopt ordinance 1834 on second reading. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 4-0. Item 7, consider resolution 2024-05-22, a resolution transferring monies between the water utility, waterworks cash reserve fund, and sewage works.
Mr. President, motion to adopt resolution number 2024-05-22.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. C, council action, consider appointment of Lauren Behrens, Lake County Council nominee to the Economic Development Commission term to expire December 31st, 2027.
So moved.
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Number 2, consider license and agreement between the town of St. John and LBL Development to allow access to their property for Freedom Fest fireworks.
So moved.
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Consider, number 3, consider license and agreement between the town of St. John and Harry A. and Catherine A. Snell to allow access to their property for Freedom Fest fireworks.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Number 4, consider approval of agreement with Furman Uzenta Janitorial Services LTD to include additional service areas for an increase of $240 per week as needed.
Mr. President, before we move, I'm going to ask this item to be deferred. There's some verbiage that we had to work on the contract.
Oh, move to defer.
Excuse me.
I'll second.
We have a move to defer, we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Deferred, carried 4-0. Item 5, consider approval of variance of use for an assisted living memorial care facility in a C2 district and US 41 overlay district located at 9117 Patterson. Favorable recommendation from the BZA.
So moved.
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Item 6, consider approval of a special exception for building and accessory building in a C2 district and US 41 overlay district located at 9117 Patterson. No recommendation from the BZA.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 3-1. Item 7, consider approval of a special exception for the use of a therapeutic massage and spa studio within a C2 commercial highway zoning district and US 41 overlay district located at 8671 Wicker Avenue. Favorable recommendation from the BZA.
So moved to approve.
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 8, consider approval of a special exception for the use of a yoga studio within a C2 commercial highway zoning district and US 41 overlay district located at 9190 Wicker Avenue. Favorable recommendation from the BZA.
So moved to approve.
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 9, consider approval of site services change order number 1 for the Gates Park Phase 1 walking path project in the amount of $38,230.
So moved to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 10, consider waiving fees charged to Silver Stray Social, a not-for-profit, in the amount of $50 for a vendor fee for the Puppapalooza event to be held on June 22nd, 2024.
So moved to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 4-0. Item 10, reports and correspondences. Town council? Any reports or comments that anybody cares to make?
And I'd like to report on the treatment plants. The treatment plants, both Monix and the Gates, have 4 hot dogs, or units that help take the iron out of the water. 3 out of the 4 are rebuilt. The water main projects, there's 4 water main projects. They're going to start, the first one will be 85th and Primrose, and it'll go west of Magnolia. That's going to start approximately Monday, June 3rd. Well 4 had a problem. It went down. They fixed it. They had to fish the bull out of the ground. Now it improved it, so that was a good thing. We're going to get a lot more water out of that, probably 1,200 gallons of water a minute. And then the altitude valve at the Hack Street Tower now is in place, and that's good. That was something that the water department wanted to get done.
Thank you for that. Wayne, any other comments?
Just to remind everybody, 231, 109th, as soon as you cross 41, is a state road. We have no control over that road. Now, as I'm sure all of you know, there are roundabouts planned for both Parrish and Klein Avenue on 231. This should alleviate the problems. I know, I travel it every day and every morning, and it's a true pain. And, might I add, if you try to go around folks on 231 at Parrish, there's a dedicated turn lane. You will be pulled over and you will be ticketed. So please don't do it. It's caused quite a few accidents. In any event, we have to wait for the state to complete their work, also utilities and all of that. This has been in the project pipeline for some time, but we cannot move the state any quicker than the state wishes to move. In any event, once those roundabouts are in, which I'm sure you're all for because they make the most sense anywhere, and there's actually no argument against them, traffic should move a lot more easily, and we won't have the kind of problems, hopefully, that we heard from earlier. So again, with that being said, it will be improved. It's coming. I don't know what the project timeline is on that. I don't know if you know it, Billy.
Klein Avenue is supposed to be first, I believe.
I've been waiting forever for it, but it will be coming, and it is a state issue, not a town issue. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Jorgensen. Anyone else? Town manager, Billy?
Just one item. The Memorial Day service will take place at Civic Park at 8:30 on Memorial Day. The VFW and the American Legion will be out there.
Thank you, Billy. And for the clerk treasurer's office?
No comment.
All right, thank you, Donna.
Really? Oh, Beth's not here.
Item 11, adjournment. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.